Hi, I'm Chuck Transfield, and I am in the Los Feliz, Silver Lake area of Los Angeles on Hyperion Avenue, standing in a grocery store parking lot. Only this is not just any grocery store parking lot. This is the original location of the Disney Studios from 1926 to 1940. This is where some of the most iconic animated shorts of the 30s were produced, and of course the first ever full-length animated motion picture, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. For all I know, it might have been made here in this very parking lot. But I bring this up today because I feel it's pertinent. The 1941 animator strike against Disney, in parallel to what's happening with the SAG-AFTRA and WGA strike right now, with people who feel they are the lifeblood of the industry and they're not being treated properly by corporate heads and producers. Well, animators, creative people, were growing increasingly discontent as they worked here, as the studio was growing more successful. Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, before Gone with the Wind, was the biggest money-making film of all time. But yet the animators were being paid very poorly and not consistently. It was not unusual for animators to be in the same room working on the exact same thing, and one to the side of one would be making substantially more money and one to the other side would be making substantially less money doing the exact same work. There was also a period where Disney demanded that his workers sign some sort of agreement or document stating that they had worked a 40-hour work week, when the truth was some of them had worked 60, 70, and 80-hour work weeks. It's understandable why people were feeling they were being used and even abused. It particularly came to a head when Disney even cut off bonuses that he had been giving to his animators when he needed to siphon that money into his new studio in Burbank. And Burbank, of course, where Disney Studios is located permanently today, and that was the site of the 1941 animator strike that originated when the Cartoonists Guild, Motion Picture Cartoonists Guild, unionized in 1937, and they were managing to strike deals with all of the studios except for Disney, because Walt Disney did not want to unionize his workers, much to their tremendous chagrin. It came to a head with a 5-week strike in Burbank that was rather vicious. Disney fired a number of his people for participating in the strike. A lot of top-level creative people defected to other studios, and Disney was even known to blackball people to keep them from working. He was very powerful at this point in Hollywood. But ultimately, a deal had to be struck. Changes had to be enforced, and Walt Disney was forced to rehire many of the people he had let go. So this was an example of where the people fought and they won. And this is what's going on with the SAG-AFTRA and WGA strike. People who feel they are definitely the creative lifeblood that makes all of this happen, and they are not getting treated fairly or getting their fair share from the producers and the studio heads. So we're going to see where this all goes.